Welcome to the Lions Review. Today I thought I would do something fun and take a look at the top 20 toughest creatures in HeroQuest. So you can see I got everything laid out here from the original pack, the Men-at-Arms, because sometimes you fight those guys in Quest, the Elf Quest, the Barbarian Quest, against the Ogre Horde, and of course the Wizards of Mokar. The only problem is I never played any of the overseas items, so got to remove them, because I just don't know how tough they actually are, especially compared to North America rules. I'm also going to remove this guy here because he plays various characters throughout. He's just really a stand-in one. And then, of course, the Archmage I had to remove because she doesn't have a card, and I probably should have removed the Frozen Horror, but he kind of makes it nice and rounded out, and I have a card for him. So here, number 20, the Goblin, because he's the easiest one, let's face it. Nobody fears this guy. Then there's the Skeleton, who's undead, but really not that scary to deal with. Followed by the Zombie, a little more flesh, but still not that scary to deal with. And after the Zombie, we get to the Goblin's bigger brother, the Orc, who has a bit more attack dice, can do a little more damage. The Scout isn't really that tough. Special ability doesn't really matter if he's one of the bad guys. And following him, so let's see, oh, here we go. The Fimir, number 15. So the Fimir, kind of a well-rounded warrior, I guess you can say. And then you got the Halberdier that's kind of similar, but he can make diagonal attacks, so I think he edged out the Fimir a bit. And then, of course, the Crossbow Man could do range attacks, so I think that's even better. So I placed him up a little higher at number 13. Then we had the Ice Gremlin at number 12, who's not really that tough of a component, but he can steal your items. And if he's stealing your heal potions from your heroes, they can have a tough time going down the road. Now we got the Mummy at number 11, and our last undead. He's kind of tough as far as attack and defense. And then starting our top 10, we're going to have the Elven Warrior, who's a pretty well-rounded warrior, 3 body points, a little tougher than our guys. And then followed by the Elven Archer, of course, because he can do range attacks. Once you get up close to him, though, he's not really that tough. And then following him, we're going to have another Men-at-Arms, the Swordsman, who's got very high attack and defense die, even though his body points are only at 2. So he can be a tough opponent, but, you know, as you land your hits on him, that's going to be the tricky part. Then you got this Yeti at number 7. I put him up there because this guy gets you in one of his hugs, special attacks. You can be in Goner, especially in the solo quest, like in the Barbarian quest. Your hero could be dead quickly if someone doesn't rescue you. Of course, solo, no one's going to rescue you. At number 6, we got the Chaos Warrior, who was always one of the hated characters to run across for the heroes, especially in the early on quest. And then following him, of course, is the Gargoyle, the one everyone really hated running across. Because sometimes he was actually a monster, sometimes he was just a statue, but anytime you had to fight him, you really didn't like it. So what do you follow this guy up with? Well, many creatures from the quest packs, like the Giant Wolf here. Giant Wolf has high attack, high body points, so you had to try to deal with him quickly because he can attack anybody that was next to him, even diagonally. This Polar Warbear got 2 attacks, so he can attack 2 different characters or one character twice, and that one character will only have 1 defense to get him. And then he has 6 body points, so that really made him kind of tough to deal with. Thankfully, his defense dice weren't really that high. Otherwise, I would have to rank this guy a lot higher. And then next up, we have his boss, the Frozen Horror, who is a spellcaster, which also gives him advantage. So he was a kind of tough character to deal with. But, you know, I almost had trouble placing him in the number 2 spot, but I did so because of his spellcasting ability. And again, just a tough monster to deal with. Otherwise, I probably would have rated him a little lower. So what tops him? Well, it's a creature that was both in North America and overseas, the Ogre, number 1, 10 body points. So that tells you, you know, you can roll up to 5 attack die, get all skulls. So this guy, even if he doesn't defend, you've only knocked him down halfway. So to me, that's why he deserves number 1. I know overseas there was a little different because they have variable hit points, but in America, or North America I should say, 10 body points, 6 attack die, 4 defense die. That made him quite the guy to deal with. So there you have it, the top 20. Let's get 20, 19, and 18 out of here. There you go. So let's get rid of 17, 16, 15. Did I count that right? Sometimes I'm a little off there. But we're going to, yeah, I am. So we're going to get rid of these guys. We're going to knock it down to the bottom 10 here. These last 2 rows. See if you agree or not that those were the toughest ones to deal with in HeroQuest. Again, the Yeti, really, if you were doing the solo quest, you were pretty much dead if he got you in the hug. If your other heroes couldn't rescue you, you would be losing 2 points per turn. And then here you go with your top 5. So I really think the Ogre deserves the trophy there with his 10 body points, high attack. Let me know what you think. Hope you enjoy this. Have fun. Talk to you later.